They don't exist. They do not exist. Yo, growing up, obviously, you wanna get in a relationship. You gotta do these things, right? And one thing that most people like me who are in fashion, they want a fashionista. They want a fashion chick. However, do they even exist outside of social media? That is the question that I have. And I've always thought about this. Me and my homie, we obviously talk all the time. And like on Instagram, we'll send each other like DMs and stuff. And to our conclusion of this whole matter, we noticed that all these girls that dress up on social media, they don't exist in real life. Now, taking this to consideration, I live in a suburb, obviously. I don't live in the city. So you're gonna say, yo, DD, like, you don't even know what you're saying, fam. Like, how do you know that when you live in the suburbs? But the thing is, I go to the city often, and I go to cities across Canada as well as in the States. And what I've come to this conclusion is you never really see them in real life. You never see the Y2K girls. You never see the Gorpcore girls. You never see, what's it called? The cottage core girls. None of them. You never see them except for online. Now this goes to raise the question is online fashion just a figment of our imagination, or is it its own reality? And I would argue it is its own reality. The reason why I say is that when it comes to online fashion, it's more or less just performative. Most people don't really dress like that in real life. And I know people want to say, yo, look at celebrities and all that stuff, but that's still performative. I feel as though that when it comes to fashion, there are people who do dress like that in real life, but it's very, very few. A lot of the times we see all these people online and we think, oh, they dress like that all the time. Chances are they're just dressed in regular clothes and they're not even dressed down in designer like that. Now, you could argue that if you go to more fashion districts, for example, Soho in New York, or if you're in LA or you're in Tokyo, then yes, maybe you might find one. But the chances are of you finding one is probably slim to none, especially when it comes to certain aesthetics over others. I think for the most part, the clean girl aesthetic, that one you might see more often because Aritzia's popping right now. But for the most part, everything other than that, like maybe vintage girls or whatever, then you probably will find them. But aside from that, you're not find none of that anywhere. It's hard to find them because at the end of the day, for the most part, we're all in our own bubble. So we think that most of these women or men, if you're a woman watching this, are attainable and they're like that all the time. But you're just seeing the picture, they could be on the other side of the globe. So in what case will you find your fashion girl? I don't know what to tell you. The thing is it's gonna be based off of your circle. Who do you hang out with the most? Most of you guys who are watching this that are into fashion, most of your friends aren't into fashion like that. For the most part, they either just wear clothes for the sake of wearing clothes, or they're into fashion a little bit. They want to look nice on occasions, but they're not gonna tell you different looks from different fashion designers from different eras, or they're not gonna talk to you about different patterns and shape and proportion, all that stuff. Because fashion is a niche community if you think about it. So that's why it's harder to find your quote unquote fashion girl. I've been seeing this trend or this notion constantly on my timeline on TikTok, on Twitter, of these dudes saying, where are these girls at? The thing is, for the most part, when it comes to relationships, a lot of people don't even really want a significant other that's completely different. What they do want is somebody that is interested in the same things as them. So at that point, you pretty much just want a friend. What I find that's interesting is like streetwear dudes want girls that like Supreme, that like Bape, that like Amelie Ondor, that like Kith, so on and so forth. And then you have avant-garde dudes who like girls that are into Rick Owens, and it's like, if she dresses like this, I'll marry her, all that stuff. But it's kind of funny. It's like, don't you want somebody that's completely different? For me personally, if you guys know my style, it's pretty much vintage, 90s, 2000s, well as like older stuff like the 50s and the 60s, and then it's a mixture of like urban streetwear and then like regular menswear. Obviously, I could date a girl who's into streetwear. I could date a girl that's into vintage. But me personally, I might want to date a girl that's into avant-garde. I might want to date a girl that's into cottage girl core or gorp core. We need to focus on, instead of trying to get someone to match our steez, and I've been caught up saying that myself, maybe find somebody who's not even into fashion. And maybe you could strike interest or get her into fashion. You never know. You never know. So that's just me ranting today, because I've been looking, been like, yo, I need a fashion girl. Where are these fashion girls out? Because for me, I don't even care about body and face and all that stuff. But for the most part, if a girl can dress well, then she has my heart, okay? Those are the type of girls that will break my heart. And fashionistas. But at the end of the day, we got to look at it this way, is that we can't get caught up in the fact that all girls are not going to be into the same level of fashion as a fashion dude would be. But at the end of the day, as long as she's able to dress well and she doesn't make you look like a bum, you will be all right. And with that said, this is your boy Darius D, and I'm signing off once again. So y'all just chill till the next video. Y'all stay suave, live long, and prosper.